privates. I know most of you are tired from training, but stay alert, because what we learn here could save your buddy's life. We're now going to cover Combat Lifesaving, or CLS. This class is a combination of lecture and hands-on exercises to ensure that you know how to treat casualties in the field. Many of the techniques we'll cover here are based on basic first aid principles that you may already be familiar with. But the intent of this class is to cover specific CLS treatments that will enable you to revive and stabilize your fellow soldier out on the battlefield. Now, before we get started, we're going to watch a short introductory video.
As a soldier in the United States Army, you are the first link in a chain of trained professionals delivering escalating levels of treatment. As the first responder, your initial care is crucial to successful treatment. It is your duty to be proficient in your combat life-saving skills. If your buddy lies injured on the battlefield, quite possibly the only thing that is going to save him is you and your ability to use the skills you learn here. Every U.S. Army soldier is issued an IFAK. This kit is far more advanced than the typical first aid kit you may be familiar with in the civilian world. Your IFAK includes equipment to treat the most common life-threatening battlefield injuries you will see in combat. This equipment requires more advanced medical training than basic first aid. For instance, this is a nasopharyngeal airway, or NPA. It is usually used with conscious patients who are unable to maintain an open airway. Some people call it a nasal trumpet because of its shape, and also because you insert the NPA into the nostril of a casualty in order to establish a patent airway. Not all breathing problems involve a closed airway. Penetrating thoracic injury may present as a sucking chest wound, causing air to enter the pleural space. This creates internal pressure that can prevent the patient from breathing properly, a condition called open pneumothorax. To minimize this pressure, you apply the Asherman chest seal over the sucking wound. The seal allows air out but not in, stopping the pressure buildup. Some of the equipment in your IFAK simply improves on standard treatment that you may be familiar with from basic first aid. The Combat Application Tourniquet, or CAT, is a small and lightweight one-handed tourniquet that completely occludes arterial blood flow in an extremity. This tourniquet is not only faster to apply than traditional equipment, but can be applied to oneself with one hand. This all may sound intimidating or even gross to some of you, but we train you to overcome those fears in order to save lives. By practicing the treatments you are about to learn and mastering the contents of your IFAK, you will be an effective lifesaver on the battlefield.
On each of your tables is a state-of-the-art simulation mannequin called a Sim Man, but I like to call him Simon. He's your buddy. Simon can breathe like a person, react like a person, and even bleed like a person. You have the ability to help Simon if you know what to do. Now that you've been introduced to some of the tools, let's get into how and when to use them. Gunshot wounds will obviously be a very common injury that you'll encounter on the battlefield. We'll cover the most common wounds and how to handle them.